Hi, how's it going? It's Matthew here. I'm the CEO of Warrp and I'm the creator of ToastPunk. How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to bring you through a presentation on Racer Club. Racer Club is a P2E racing game that we came up with. But before I get started there, I wanted to give a bit of a background as to how this game conceptualized and what did we do leading up to this year. So first and foremost, we created ToastPunk and we dropped ToastPunk NFTs, and we managed to mint them out, 10,000 of them to students and various other collectors out there of NFTs. And although it did really well, we're happy with what the whole outcome of it. We know we could do much better, and we spoke to our community and we said, okay, what do you guys want as far as utility is concerned? And a lot of them came back with, let's get some P2E games, let's get a few other things, let's merge, there's all sorts of other things. But then we let down the P2E track and we said, okay, let's do this P2E thing. We went and got some research done, and we found a few little kinks in the current space right now, the P2E and metaverse space, being ourselves players and also being ourselves involved in those things there. I'm going to go through them in a second, but first and foremost, let me introduce Racer Club again. We believe it will be the first metaverse racing game made for NFT communities to play and earn using their existing NFTs and tokens. Now, the problem we found with this, first one is that most of today's play-to-earn games find it very difficult to sustain and grow long-term player retention. And there's a few key reasons for that there, we believe. The first one we found was that a token gets hyped up and it launches really well for a P2E game. Players jump on board, they start playing them. The first month they might get a lot of rewards. Second month onwards, it sort of goes down, and the reason for that is because there's new games coming out all the time. That's number one. And number two, the loyalty factor. A lot of them just go for the rewards and not really want to actually stay within that game because we got to go for something better and we got to earn money. Okay, it's very different than the Web 2 sort of styling games where people, if they love a particular genre and a particular label, they'll go for it and they'll play for it for long term. So that's the issue, I think, currently in the P2E space, because it's money centric, it's reward centric. It's very hard to actually get that, and we're gonna show you how we believe we can get that solved. The second problem is, and this is for any metaverse land out there, okay? We've got obviously just the other side just launched, which is great, but once again also has this problem. You got Sandbox, you got Decentraland, you got Wilder Worlds, you got NFT Worlds. All of them are going to have this same problem here, and that problem is this. Yes, you can buy the land, that's not a problem, but the issue is you got to spend the time and spend the money to deploy something on it that the communities can use and benefit from as a whole. Okay, and we're talking 7, 9, 10, 12 months before you can actually build something, and also 50, 100, 150, 250 grand with that game concept or whatever concept you come up with to get it done. We believe we've also solved this particular issue here as well. Okay, now this is the solution. Racer Club aims to be the first multi-community play-to-earn racing game with rapid onboarding so that communities can benefit from instant and ongoing utility of the NFTs and tokens. So these are the solutions what we've come up with. Okay, the first and foremost thing is we feel that Racer Club could be a rule-centric game. So it's a game where the rules are defined. It's like a soccer team. Okay, the rules are exactly defined. You've got 2 goalposts, you've got boundaries, you've got time limits, all that sort of stuff. We're going to define the clear rules of what Racer Club is going to be. How many tracks is going to be playing on, how many laps you're going to do per track, how many players are allowed in the game, what are the rewards per game, and things like that. It'll be all a system format that is simple. The other thing to that is everyone can layer those races and those tracks with their own personality. This is what brings the Web3 persona in it and the loyalty element to it as well. Okay, so these are the things that tackle that first problem we talk about. The second thing is, because we're creating on a simple SDK architecture that is scalable, okay, people can actually mint, or that's how we're going to allow it. We're going to allow them to mint a game pack which consists of the whole game itself, and they can simply jump in the game and create their own racer art, create their own track art, set up the tokenomics, everything is for them there and get going in 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, so communities can actually start their own racer club almost straight away, and that benefits them tremendously from like a rather than a piece of land. Now, if for some reason their club doesn't work out, or if they don't want to create their club, that's fine. They can put it on the secondary market and also sell that game pack off. Okay, now why Racer Club? And I'm going to stress this again. It's not just a game. It's going to be a Web3 home for NFT communities. Now, NFT communities with sold out collections that have their own native tokens can start a title series Racer Club. So what do you need? You can use your own NFT tokens. You can use your own NFTs, use your own tokens. You create your own races, you create your own tracks, and therefore you get your own Web3 persona game. Now, a lot of NFT collections out there, we know, especially on NFTX, already have their own tokens associated with their NFT. So it's nice and simple. And NFTX is an awesome platform. They're a DeFi staking platform that has a vault mechanism made perfectly for all these big collections that want to protect their floor on secondary. They allow the holders to come up and put their NFTs in there. In return, they get tokens and they can stake those tokens. So you got people like you got collections like MAYC, World of Woman, CryptoPunks, Doodles, etc. You got plenty of the big ones out there. And we intend to start with this area here, but we know also that there's plenty of other NFT collections out there as well with their own tokens already, using for staking or using for their own P2Es or whatever it might be. As long as they have an NFT collection and as long as they have the token, they can start a title series Racer Club. Now, if they don't have a token, that's fine. They can create one from NFTX. It takes them, a day to get set up, even less than that there. In fact, the setup time is only 10 minutes. But once they get rolling, they got an instant token they can use straight away, which we can then onboard into our game as their in-game rewards, as their pack store purchases as well. Okay. Now, what are our features? It's simple. It's instant plug and play setup. We've got a custom Web3 Persona 3D racer. So all the racers are custom to their own PFPs of their collections. The tracks are totally customizable as well. So if you got, for example, ToastPunk Genesis, we will have a kitchen track which is related to our collection, so it keeps it all localized and true to their own collection. We configure the existing native NFTs and tokens. So just a bit about this here. Doesn't mean they've got 10,000 NFTs in the whole collection that you have to create 10,000 races. That's not actually how we work here. You can actually create only 10 to 15 races, and you can link them to those 10,000 NFTs. And on the car, it will display the NFT number, so you know that this particular character is related to this NFT here, and that's how we in-game store it. For the tokens, it's great because every pack store purchase you make in the store, because you always have to have pack store purchases to keep the P2E game going, that utilizes the token, the native token. So when people are actually buying that tokens or paying for packs, they're actually adding liquidity to their own token pool and creating their token value to go up. Now, if they got that linked with NFTX, that's even better, because when the token value goes up, their NFT value goes up at the same time as well, because it's a flaw-protected kind of vault mechanism. But if they got other tokens there as well, similarly as well, they add value back to their own token. NFTs can grow in value as well, because you can level up those NFTs accordingly. When you level them up, you add permanent attributes to those NFT races, so top speed goes up a bit more higher, etc., etc., etc. You can see all of that in our white paper. Every single game comes with customizable tokenomics that the collection owner can actually do what they want with. So they can have 50% of all the pack store purchases go to in-game rewards, 15% go to staking. They can have whatever they want. They can have 15% go back to their own DAO or their own royalty wallet, whatever they might have, etc. All Racer Club takes is 5% of all pack rewards. Pack purchases, so that we can sustain the whole the ecosystem. There'll be inbuilt pack store powered by their own token, as I said earlier on. Inbuilt marketplace with renting feature, so they got the ability to actually rent their NFTs. Those with extra NFTs that they don't want to use for racing, or they can't be bothered racing, for example, they can actually rent them to other people that wants to play out there. So then you've got inbuilt rewards auto staking, so all those rewards that they win in the game, when they get number 1, number 2, number 3, they get auto stake straight away. So it's another 7-day lockup on there. The players can earn APR via yields. And the whole game itself keeps more money into the system, which is better for the game, more healthy for the game as well. And of course, everything comes with a community multi-sig admin panel. So, they've got mods, they've got admin, they've got collection owners, they've got the whales, whatever they want to do, they can manage their own racer club accordingly. Okay. The tech we aim to deploy is simple enough so that it is efficient and scalable. Okay, that's most important here because we're going to build a lot of racer club games or a lot of clubs in this whole ecosystem. So Ethereum mainnet, why we chose Ethereum, unlike we didn't go with Polygon or anything else, is because this is where the big guys sit. This is where all the main collections sit. This is where all our collab partners sit. This is where BAYC sits. This is all the big guys are here. So we definitely had to choose Ethereum. Ethereum gas is higher. We know that. That's cool because if it's a game for their own community, I'm sure that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. Okay. In fact, keeps the ones that are actually there just for the rewards out better. So it keeps the game healthier. We're using Unity games, so nice and simple as well. The whole thing is SDK plug and play architecture. What that means is it's a simple setup process. So it takes like half an hour to get everything set up. ERC721 and ERC20 native token, so that's the NFT native token, and that's the token itself. Then we've got a web-based interface, so it's just nice and simple. It's not installing a computer, which means you can potentially load that up on mobile, depending on what browser you're using on the mobile. Now, this is the market. Right now, the P2E market is going wild, as we can see, $8 billion in 24-hour trading volume. This is actually quite a cool thing. There's only 929 games out there, P2E games out there, which is quite little. Okay, and if we accomplish what we want to accomplish, we would smash this by like more than half. Okay, so we would take up 800 to 1,000 games, racer clubs by itself. So we got a huge opportunity through what we're offering here to actually take a whole of a bigger size of the market. So right now you got P2E racing games such as Pegasus, Rev Racing, D-Race, many others. Now just so you know, we've run the average rewards per these games, not only these racing games but other games as well as a total, and the average right now is sitting at somewhere between $300 a month. Now that is, from a normal standard player point of view, not good enough. Okay, now the $300 doesn't include obviously staking and doesn't include NFT sales, but the same token, if you don't make it highly rewarding enough for people are going to leave the game. It's as simple as that, especially because it's a P2E game, not a Web2 game. Okay, so the idea we have here with the personalization of the Web3 persona game aspect, and we've run coins based on this here, the loyalty factor and the coins together, we feel that $300 mark can go up onwards to about $800 to $2,000 a month. Okay, that's in-game rewards again, just because of the loyalty factor and the personality in the game, okay, which not many others are doing out there. So this makes it really great, and I think that's what is the key difference of what Racer Club is going to offer. Metaverses, you can see massive market caps, really big out there. You got the other side that just came in as well. They've probably smashed them already right now with what they've got. I think they have already. However, once again, none of these metaverses can onboard as fast as what Racer Club can onboard. Okay, so Racer Club being a metaverse by itself, because later on, once all these clubs are established, we're gonna launch something called the crossover metaverse, and I'll go through that in a second. What the crossover metaverse is. That's a really cool aspect where different clubs can actually jump into the other person's club and play for their own native tokens and things like that. But obviously, elite clubs only. It's like the Champions League or the FIFA World Cup, so to speak, in that element there. We will have marketplaces embedded to each racer club. So once again, that's a perfect utility with the game that comes with it, and I think that makes it interesting for the renting function and all those things there, which comes inbuilt in the game itself. So this is our go-to-market plan. For phase one, we aim to give early access, and we're talking about early access as soon as May and June for select NFT communities. Right now, we've got ToastPunk Genesis being our own project. We're going to bring them on, get them to test the game out, get other people that want to test the game out to come into ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club and play as well. And then phase two, after we've done that, and after we've done this, broaden the horizon basically for everyone else, we will go for an allow list that onboards 2,500 NFT communities through something called the Title Series Game Pack, which in fact ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club is also a Title Series Game Pack. So if you got ToastPunk Genesis in phase one, basically there's 2,499 and 2,499 game packs left to be minted, and this is the maximum allowance you're gonna ever have. We're gonna only allow 2,500 different communities out there to have it. This creates scarcity, this creates a demand for the club, and this creates, a competition amongst all the different clubs to actually be there and do their best. Phase three, after we've onboarded these or got on these communities, and we built all these little micro games or all these racer club games out there, we'll then launch an R Club token with the intention of setting up a racer club DAO, which is going to be decentralized governance of the whole racer club game, and a crossover metaverse game, which we're thinking, esports virtual game style, where everyone jumps into each other's tracks, starts playing for the native rewards, starts playing for the major tournament prizes. And esports, we've seen them before go for 500 to $1 million to $2 million as far as like tournament prizes are concerned, and I think that's quite possible once you got that massive player base happening already. So this is what we feel as a KPI, as a goal for what we want to set in 2022 itself. We feel that out of the 2,500 game packs that are out there, that we will work hard to get a minimum of 800 title series racer clubs on. So onboarding them, getting them set up, making sure that they've got their personalized races and their tracks, etc., etc. And with that there, we should be able to get about 750,000 daily players. That's just on a low estimate number. And then we should be able to get 200,000 level 2 players, which is people that have got 1,000 XP or more in the game. Getting XP is like winning, getting top prizes, podium spots, spending money in the pack store and things like that. You get XP here and there for small little things. And all you got to do is collect 1,000 and you're in level 2. And I'll tell you the significance of level 2 in a second. Obviously, we onboard at least 5 partner guilds. Now, partner guilds are important. These gamer guilds is because they'll bring in all the volume of other players as well. But once again, you're not going to get massive loyalty from them. You might get some loyalty from them there, but the best loyalty you're going to get is from the communities itself and their own holders of their own NFTs. Okay. Once we've done all that there, and once we hit a crossover game launch, so we're satisfied, we've got all the player bases, we're satisfied with all the communities on, we're satisfied with what's going on, we launched the R Club token for the crossover game. Once we do that, we believe that we should be able to, and this is not financial advice by any means whatsoever, okay, but we feel that we should be able to get a circulation of about 250 million out there based on the utility needed for the R Club token, and I'll explain what that's going to be at about $2 to $3 per token, and that should be about the 500 to 750 market cap mark. This is once again our estimations on what we feel that 2022 can happen for Racer Club. So what is the utility of R Club token when we launch it? And as I said, I'm just going to preface this back again. The idea is to build a player base first. This is different to all the other games out there. We want to make sure that we have the stable player base and then do the token launch, because that will then give much more impact and much more straight utility for the R Club, for the token itself. The first thing we want to do is, have that being utilized in the asset creators marketplace. The asset creators marketplace is where artists and devs can create and sell 3D and in-game assets for title series games. So all these racer clubs out there, things are like, these things are like wheels, stickers, billboards in the racetracks, the races itself, or the characters itself, the cars itself, all that sort of stuff there. Everything can be bought in this asset creators marketplace, and the only way you can buy them is using the R Club utility token. Okay. The next thing is for the crossover series. So when we launch this massive big prize tournament format game where everyone can jump into each other's game, although they're playing for their own native rewards, there's the R Club rewards that you can get as well, which is from the tournament rewards. But in order for you to actually get that, you need to actually pay your game entry fee into the crossover metaverse. That will give you so many functionalities, such as being able to jump into each other's game and also participate in all the tournaments there. So that will be simple fees for all the players to pay using R Club tokens. Finally, the Racer Club DAO. This is where everything, the whole treasury is managed. So the idea of the DAO, what the format we've set it up is, there'll be 5 facades to it. The first one is the title series board member. So that board member will work together with the community to ensure that all the 2,500 game collections out there are doing well and doing to the best capabilities of they can. Then you've got the crossover board member who's in charge of all the tournaments, making sure that the sponsorships, the prizes, all that sort of stuff is organized really, really well for all those tournaments. Then the third one is the treasury board member who's in charge of making sure that all the funds that are flowing through, 5% from all the different racer clubs and anywhere else is managed really, really well together with the community. The fourth one is the innovations board member, and this innovations board member is about making sure that the game gets better over time. So whether there's new releases with PlayStation or Xbox or anything at all, if they adopt Web3 format style payment systems, then bang, we're in there, things like that. The fifth one is the growth. So obviously we need to connect with other communities as the whole market comes in play as well. So the balance of other people that are coming into P2E space, how do we get those people on board? How do we grow them up? What sort of collabs are we doing with partners and certain things? And that particular board member will be working with the community to make sure that that grows up there. Now, I'm not saying that I will be any of those board members, but I could play a role somewhere there. We're going to get the best out of the best in the industry to get this done. Because if we wanted this to be the big game, we need to get the best guys all there. So ultimately, our club will be the main utility token that bridges the entire Racer Club game and player ecosystem. That is the plan. Okay. So the vision is for Racer Club crossover metaverse to see top title series Racer Club communities, so all the different communities out there playing a wide format esports virtual arena. I mentioned this before, for Mega R Club rewards. Okay, they will get their native rewards as well, the native tokens from the different hosts, Racer Clubs, but they also can get the R Club rewards on a massive scale. Now, this is a quote by me. I mentioned that Racer Club has the potential to become the equivalent of what FIFA is in the football world, with multiple hierarchies of leagues and tournaments, but in the virtual Web3 play-to-earn racing world. Okay, so guys, invitation extended for those that are NFT projects that have minted out, that have their own token, whether or not you have your own P2E or utility or whatever you need. If interested, obviously Racer Club could be one of your options. We will announce the 2,500 game packs that you can mint, and we haven't set a proper price on it right now, but I'm sure that the price will be of significant value versus getting a piece of land and waiting on it and things like that. We'll also build the whole thing up, make sure there's a lot of marketing backup with it to create that demand out there for it. It will be done via an allow list format. So how it will work is every collection will have their collection address will be allowed. Any holder of that particular NFT in that collection can mint this game pack. So it's one game pack per allow list per collection. Once you mint that game pack, you can then go off and mint another tracks, 5 more tracks. Okay, there's going to be level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, so that's 5 more. The first game pack already comes with level 1. Okay, so that's just the way for you to optimize a game to make sure that you have the best club out there, the best potential club out there that you can build with the community. So thank you for that. Next part of this presentation is going to be about investors. So if interested to hear more, you can check out the next part. Thank you very much.